A beautiful night in the San Fernando Valley. Beautiful pictures from Taft High School, where tonight El Camino Royale in West Valley League action visits the Taft Toreadors. A huge battle for playoff implications. Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Rosenblum, set to call the play-by-play. This is Paul Zabalik. These are two teams that are building up their program. We know that about the Royals. The same thing can be said about the Toreadors. Toreadors have broken through this year. They've won 3 football games. El Camino's won but one. But tonight, the winner is going to get a good seed in Division II, Paul, so there's a lot at stake.
You know, when you look again at these programs and the way they've been rebuilding this year and the impact that they can all have on their programs, El Camino is in a position, if they win tonight, they could take a commanding role in that Division II playoff. And we're looking to see that happen, again, when we have that opportunity to get this exposure for these programs. Anything can happen.
And if El Camino is going to win this football game, they'll need an impact performance from their quarterback, number 7, Ryan Feinberg.
We've talked about Ryan Feinberg almost all season. He is that impact player for El Camino. He has the ability to make things happen. He has the content. He has the explosiveness, and he's one of the city leaders with total offense. So you can expect big plays out of Feinberg, and we can hope to see that tonight.
On the flip side, there's Wellington Bristow, a statuesque young man at 6'3", who's got a rifle for an arm.
You know, when you look at the size of these young kids in the high school level, and they're at 6'3" or 6'4", they're ideal for the next level because they're going to grow and they're going to be strong. And he has an arm that can explode at that next level. And, again, as he starts to mature, he's going to be possibly the impact player for Taft.
It's the battle for Woodland Hills supremacy tonight. The Royals visiting the Taft Toreadors. We'll sit back, we'll relax, and we'll come back for the opening kickoff for these football teams. It's a big one in the West Valley, and it's next on LA36. Toreadors set to kick off. Their placement specialist is Josua Morelos. And Morelos will get this football game underway under the lights in Woodland Hills at Hal Lambert Stadium. This one is returnable for the Royals. It'll be good field position for Spellman and the Royals.
Well, this first series is going to determine whether or not they're going to take control of this game tonight, Randy. We'll see what Mr. Feinberg has up his sleeve.
Yeah, the man who handled it, Troy Spellman, does so many positive things for ECR.
He is the athlete on that field, and he is the individual that you're looking for tying up with Feinberg to make that big play.
Jefferson, one of the key players, returned a kickoff for a touchdown last week. And Cameron Dover leads the team with 30 pass receptions this year. Feinberg will start out of the gun. ECR, the white with the blue trimming, the red and gold and the white of Taft High School. Feinberg for Dover. Just missed him. Excellent secondary coverage from Sean Michael Taylor.
Dover had a position on that, was it looked wide open at the beginning of the route, and then closed in on it at the end.
Well, Dover's the big play guy, and they targeted him immediately.
Right, they're testing that corner, and they're trying to determine what they're going to cover on these wide receivers.
Feinberg, who's had a terrific season, 1,439 yards in the air and 13 touchdown passes. Got a lovely night in the West Valley. No real wind, and a lot of times in the valley you'll have wind. Spellman has about 5. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
They're going to test that three-man front of Taft, and the linebackers are going to be challenged to step up and make that fill.
I know you'd like to see Ryan Feinberg run the football a little bit more. He has 1 rushing touchdown this year, and we saw it last week, a 45-yard gallop against Chatsworth.
He has that explosive capability, and I would like to see him run the ball and execute those fakes on that option.
He's Paul Zabalik. I'm Randy Rosenblum. Thrilled you're with us on LA36. It's 3rd and a long 5. They run option with Feinberg. He tosses it back to Cortez, and he's going to be short of the first down, but there's a flag down.
anytime you have that kind of an opportunity to make the outside and make that turn, you may have a holding call, but we don't know.
Lead official is Vanell Henderson.
We have a block in the back on offense. We have holding offense. Block in the back, it's decline. The holding we will accept. Bring it from 10 yards from here. 10 yards from here.
Ready?
Well, we've seen this with El Camino before, Paul. They've struggled with these flags, and they're going to get backed up here.
Just mistakes are what's plagued them all season, and you have the same situation here. You had a chance for a breakout, and a penalty called it back.
So instead, in 4th and short, head coach of Taft, Jeff Kieran, elects to take the holding, and it's 3rd and about 12 and a half.
Look for Feinberg to possibly put it up here. They've got the middle of the field's wide open. The linebackers are cheating up, so that middle of the field, that inside zone is also open for them.
Ball at the 37-yard line. They need to reach the 49 for the first down. Trips to the left for Feinberg. We expect some explosive plays tonight in Woodland Hills. Feinberg has an open receiver. It's Bueno. First down and a lot more for ECR.
That's, again, we just said that middle of that field is wide open, and Feinberg had time to pick up Bueno, and big gain.
Bueno's 19th catch of the year. He averages better than 13 yards of reception, and that's a big one.
Again, if you look here in the middle of the field, you'll see that the linebackers have been pulled up, and Bueno is wide open.
Bueno's got great hands.
Well, last week he had the 2 tips.
One of them going for a touchdown. That was a 33-30 loss at home to a very talented Chatsworth team. Chancellors are 6-2. First down, ECR threatens early. Quick pass, Dover's free. Cameron Dover's on his way. Cameron Dover has his 5th touchdown of the year. 27-yard TD touchdown, Feinberg to Dover.
Big play number 4. Dover is the receiver who was wide open on the opening play. And again, just got wide open. They tested that corner, and Feinberg was able to make the completion.
Well, they have not gotten Dover involved the last couple weeks. That's a great sign because he's been sitting on 4 touchdowns, now 5 for a long time.
You'll look to that big play again tonight. You'll see more of it.
Chavez Borelli, outstanding kicker on for ECR. They're a man short. Now they're lined up correctly. He's got a powerful leg, and it's 7-0 ECR. Well, it took less than 2 minutes for ECR to score.
And you're looking at the. Again, look how open Dover is. They just came up. The one block was made, and it's a wide open field. No one will catch them from behind.
The big play, though, was the pass over the middle to Bueno. Remember, it was 3rd and 12 when they hit Bueno.
Right, and we said that the middle of that field is wide open because those linebackers are being pushed up to stop the run. So you should see more of that during the game.
And you got to think for the Royals, after an emotional, hard-fought 33-30 loss a week ago to Chatsworth, to come out on the opening drive and get a touchdown, that's a feel-good moment.
It's a take-charge moment, and it's what you want to see, especially in this kind of important game.
Asa Johnson, the other outstanding kicker for El Camino Real, will kick off. Asa's a junior. El Camino is blessed with 2 outstanding placement specialists.
I was told by Coach Savalik they worked on special teams all week for this Taft game.
Well, Taft also has an explosive offense led by quarterback Wellington Bristow. They have athletes. Another good one is Torrey Jackson, a running back that just became eligible, and they're excited about him. This will be his first game tonight for Taft. So 10:08 left opening quarter, and El Camino Real leads 7-0. Asa advancing on the football. This one is returnable. Ramirez. Daniel Ramirez. Sure-handed wide receiver is Ramirez, just a junior.
And you watched El Camino's kickoff team. They converged on the kicker. They didn't overcommit, and they were certainly protecting for that open field run. And you don't have that number one for Taft that you had last week.
Key players. Amir Dewitt is a tremendous athlete on the outside. You saw Ramirez on the kick return. Robert Padilla was the hero in their win over Van Nuys when they snapped a 26-game losing streak. Scored 2 touchdowns in that game against the Wolves. We're going to hone in and take a look at 22. He's the deep running back. Touch as a Toreador. He's tough to bring down, but the Royals did a nice job going over there and knocking him off his feet. Christopher Flores leading the charge.
Taft offense running a basic pro-style offense, eye set. They're keying on number 22, and even though he's the first time in the game tonight, Jackson still has a lot of ability to break big plays.
2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line of the Toreadors. And they love Amir Dutt on the outside, number 5, and he's matched up against Cayden Zakowski one-on-one. See if Bristow targets him. Going back the other way to Ramirez. And again, the Elko defense swarms.
Yeah, they've obviously scouted Taft, and as far as throwing that quick hitch pass, their corners are coming up strong.
El Camino Real 1-1 in West Valley League action. They'll go to Birmingham next week. Taft is 3-5. They've lost 2 football games in a row at Chatsworth 33-21 and at Birmingham 63-0. Birmingham has an elite team, which is the defending LA City Section champions. They'll be one of the favorites in the open division. These are Division II teams you're looking at here, at least right now. It's all predicated on records, stats at the end of the year. Bristow, under duress, gets rid of it. He had no chance. You saw the athleticism of Wellington, but he had to unload that in a hurry. And there is a flag out.
Offense. Go home. Go 10. We're holding. Back him up. Go 10 for the rat. Go 10.
They're going to accept the infraction. The El Camino side is saying, let's decline this. I'm looking at Jason Zabak. He's saying to decline it. So I think this needs to be declined.
Offense. Penalties decline. 4th down. 4th down. 4th down.
4th down and long, and that was just an official getting overzealous, just going saying, hey, let's take that 10 yards. But the sideline here said, no, we want that flag refused. Yeah.
We want the ball.
Morelos on to punt. Back deep. The dangerous Dorian Jackson. Dorian Jackson a week ago had that kick return for a TD. Dorian Jefferson is back deep. Timeout on the field taken by Taft High School. What a great start for the Royals.
Big start. Defensively, they needed to make a statement, and they were able to do that.
By the way, at halftime, we got a great feature for the fans here on El Camino Real football. Jason Zabak, the head coach, talks with Jeff Kieran, Taft's head coach. That's quite a conversation that we pre-taped that about an hour ago, and they were having a good time, and they both worked together at Moorpark.
They did, and they've known each other for a long time, and again, it's interesting to see how friends can compete against each other and still be able to talk to each other.
We'll see if they're friends at the end of the night. They
we'll
were
see.
friends at the end of the interview. I knew that.
We'll see how that ends up.
So Jefferson is back deep, the transfer from Birmingham, who had that touchdown last week. Standing at the Elko 43-yard line, waiting for the Morelos punt.
This would be a big play if Jefferson was able to return this for a touchdown.
Are you predicting that?
Maybe.
High snap over his head. And Morelos lost it, free ball. It's either a safety or a touchdown. It's one of the two. It's a touchdown for ECR. So El Camino has the TD. It's Cameron Dover.
Cameron Dover is the playmaker. He got down there. He was able to cover the ball and score 6 points for the Royals.
Oh, how about that? 13-0 ECR. Well, you predicted a touchdown on that play, didn't you?
I did. I just thought it was number 5 instead of number 4.
You missed it by 1.
That's all right. I could buy a lottery ticket.
Well, we're exactly 4 minutes into the game, and El Camino Real has 13 points up on the board already. Max Preps predicted El Camino to win this game 41-22. ECR certainly off to an outstanding start. Asa Johnson will try this PAT. Well, Chavez Borelli kicked the first one, Johnson the second one. It's 14-0. Let's go back to that bad snap and the Dover recovery.
When you look at that, you just you have to cringe a little bit, and you want to make sure that the ball isn't recovered in the end zone, which it was here. It should have been maybe kicked out of the end zone by the recovery and a safety rather than touchdown.
Well, on El Camino Real football in LA36, we've seen some strange things. Last week we had 2 deflected balls caught by Bueno. Here we've had Dover catch a touchdown and recover a touchdown in 4 minutes.
This is certainly a different expectation. You see the importance of special teams. It is. I learned from Coach Don James at Washington that the kicking game is almost 1/3 of any kind of football game. You have offense, defense, and special teams, and the schools that put the emphasis on special teams have a win percentage that you can always count on.
You know, while El Camino's had trouble with their specialty teams all season, if you go back to last week, and they struggled in that capacity as well, but they did have the Jefferson return for a touchdown, and here they recover the bad snap on the fumble for a TD. So they've had some success now with their specialty squad. This one is returnable. Running hard once again, it's 22 Torrey Jackson, and that got the crowd excited.
Well, there are a bunch of missed tackles on this play. It's one of the things that the El Camino special teams players have to break down and not overcommit.
I can see why they're pumped up about getting Torrey Jackson eligible.
He is an athlete. Powerful leg drive.
Ball just shy of the 40-yard line for the Toreadors. 3-5 overall under first-year head coach Jeff Caron, former head coach at Loyola for the Cubs, and coached the Cal State Northridge Matador program when they had football. Jackson gets 3.
He is really set back in that I formation, so he can obviously see where the blocks are, and he can make his cuts based on how his offensive linemen are making their reads on the zone.
Early on, Ariel Guerrero, number 9 for El Camino Real, has been active defensively, the outside linebacker. Give Torrey Jackson 4 yards. There he is, number 22, 2nd down and 6.
Taft has a sizable offensive line when you're looking at Palacios at 305 pounds and Abreu at 270.
14-0 early for El Camino Real. Flag is out.
We have delay of game. Offense.
Vanell Henderson is our lead official wearing the white hat tonight. Vanell's done 2 city championship games and 2 state finals.
Still 1, still 2, second down.
Second down and 11. Taft trying to locate their offense. They're going exclusively with Jackson, and he bounces to the near side. And then he's hammered at the 44. Wow, he was whacked down by Jacob Dahm, number 12, who's a hitter.
Yeah, he made his presence known on that play.
Devin Howard as well. Devin Howard is a real football player. He and his brother, Derek, are outstanding. That's how you hit. That's a good job by Howard.
Yeah, you can look at Jackson, and he's got that ability to just hide behind those big offensive linemen and make his cuts. He's got very strong lower body. His legs are pumping all the time.
Third down and 8 from the 40. Bristow wants to throw, but he's pressured. He can scramble. He's retreating, and he's thrown down. That El Camino defense. A late flag. Guerrero was over there. Dahm was over there. But the marker is out.
We have intentional grounding offense that carries the loss of down. Bring us up on 4th down.
Early on, El Camino's dominating.
Yeah, they're just taking over as they should. They are the dominant team, and they're making their presence known. Again, you look at how Dover
Guerrero got through there, really forced the hand of Bristow.
Tough call.
Well, ECR again figures to get good field position.
Here again where Jefferson has an opportunity to return it.
Morelos to punt. See if they can snap it to him correctly. That's better. Short kick. Jefferson will stay away from it. But either way, El Camino Real has terrific field position.
It is what their opportunity now for their offense to make another statement. You'll start to see some wide open, I would think, passing by Feinberg now, with again Dover being on the flank.
Ball at the 47-yard line of the Toreadors, and the blue and white huddled there. This is as well as we've seen them play all season long. They have been dominant in this quarter.
Well, they've come close in several of their games this year. Just the way the ball bounced the wrong way and the breaks didn't go their way. And if they take charge of this game tonight, that'll make a statement for the playoffs.
Feinberg and Bueno, the last to trot on for El Camino Real. Their one win was a great win over Cleveland 24-14 a couple weeks ago. A talented Cavalier team. Troy Spellman has running room. First down and a lot more for Troy Spellman.
Yeah, Coach Sabalik told me that they were going to start running outside zone, that they wanted to turn that corner, and you just saw Spellman be able to break it for a big gain.
The biggest difference tonight, Paul, is execution. The execution level is at a very high level. They had an early penalty, but other than that, Elko's been nearly flawless.
Well, they should continue. They've got, again, the dominant team here tonight. They've got to make that statement and to demonstrate that they are an up-and-coming team in this league.
First down for ECR. Ball at the 27-yard line of Taft. 5:15 to play. Opening quarter. Feinberg taking to the air, but he says, you know, there's some room here. Then he'll step up and throw. And Dover's wide open. And another touchdown. For the second time tonight, a 27-yard touchdown score to Dover. He has 3 touchdowns in the opening quarter.
And as soon as you saw Feinberg start to step up and run, the defense started to collapse on him, and that opened up Dover in the end zone. Big play.
It's been a nightmare for the Toreadors, and we're not to Halloween yet on their home field. Lorenzo Chavez Borelli for the point after. He's automatic, 21-0. Let's go back to the Feinberg to Dover score, and it looked like Feinberg was going to run.
Yeah, and look what happens as soon as he starts to run. The defense starts to collapse on him, and he sees Dover wide open.
Just unloaded that before he ran past the line of scrimmage.
Well, he knew exactly where the sticks were, and he was able to see Dover break into the clear.
Dover had 4 touchdowns this year. He has 3 tonight in the first quarter. And for Jason Zabalik, what an answer. Some smiles after he said, I might be on suicide watch after they lost to Chatsworth. He was so upset. That's nothing really to kid about, but he felt that way. He was really down.
Well, again, the big breaks didn't go their way last week, and if they continue to execute, you'll see them dominate this game tonight.
Asa Johnson continues to alternate with Chavez Borelli. You know, I brought a big heavy coat again, and I think it's delightful out. It's much nicer in the valley than we expected. Ramirez will greet the football and see what he can do with it. He has a lane. Still on his feet. Terrific return. That'll get the Taft side excited. Daniel Ramirez, the junior. There is a flag out. See, it's on the field right next to Ramirez.
We have personal foul, horse collar, defense. Okay, let's go.
Now Taft gets excellent field position.
Well, we were just speaking about how El Camino's special teams was able to sit back and spy the return man, and here they collapsed on it, and he got a great return, and it was one person between him and the goal line, between Ramirez and the goal line.
The attack on the long yardage for the horse collar, and Taft is set up. Toreadors need an answer. Just under 5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. They're already 3 touchdowns behind. They do have Cayden Cowles in the backfield. I love him, number 41. He's been dinged up, and they're happy to get him back this week. He's also a middle linebacker and a leader. He's the blocking back in front of Torrey Jackson. Jackson's going to get stuffed right here. No chance. Early on, it's been a field evening for Christopher Flores. 52 on that defensive front.
You would think with the big offensive line that Taft has, they'd be able to make some of these blocks, but Elko's able to sneak in those gaps and break the line of scrimmage.
Derbeshian was there as well. Second down and very long. Bristow hiding the ball, wanting to throw it. There's that rocket arm. But it was intercepted by Spellman on a deflection. So Spellman has the pick. Jacob Peary was the intended receiver.
It wasn't Bueno this time.
Spellman says, yeah, I found it.
Just popped there, surprise.
Bristow showed us a real strong arm, and Perry never got full control, deflected it, and went right to Spellman, and the breaks are going ECR's way.
Well, again, you saw that quarterback as far as looking at Bristow's arm and his ability to get outside and look for open receivers. It's a tough ball to catch.
That's just a great play. That's just a brilliant play by Spellman.
Spellman went up and was able to make the play.
Ermita circling out of the backfield. And ECR has its way early on with Taft. Ermita lost the handle and Taft recovers. So they create a break. See that one again as it was stolen away from Ermita. They're congratulating Cowles.
He was moving down the sideline, and I believe they thought he stepped out of bounds, but that's not the case.
So turnovers for both sides in this opening quarter. Once again, the Toreadors will feature Torrey Jackson, the senior running back. 21-0 El Camino. So much has happened in this opening quarter. Bristow dropped it. He's in trouble. Running for his life. That was an ugly play for Taft.
One of the things that you want to watch with El Camino is they're not tackling, they're grabbing, they're reaching. That's where they thought that he stepped out of bounds, but obviously the referee didn't call that.
Well, it was stripped before he went out of bounds, so give Taft a lot of credit for the takeaway. And much needed for the Toreadors, but they lose 4 on first down on a play that never developed.
They're putting a lot of pressure on Bristow to throw the ball.
2nd and 14. There's the aerial to Ramirez. It's a first down. Zakowski with the tackle, but Bristow's got a big arm.
Yeah, you just saw that demonstrated right there. It was just a quick turn-in pass, and he put it on the line.
To the El Camino Real 45-yard line. 17-yard strike. Jaden Williams has entered into that defensive front, 51 for El Camino Real.
Just a quick post, he puts it on the rope, and you're just not going to be able to stop that very quick unless you start pressing.
Bristow's a terrific athlete, also on the basketball and baseball team at Taft, a 4.0 student. Jackson, right side with running room. Near side, he's got a lot of green grass. And a first down before Spellman knocks him out of bounds.
Again, El Camino's not tackling, they're grabbing and reaching, and you're not going to stop a running back like Jackson with an arm tackle. He'll break through it.
Terrific run from Torrey Jackson of 23 yards.
Again, watch here, you'll see the arm tackles or the attempted arm tackles. 1, 2, 3, and then Spellman comes in and makes the big hit.
Best opportunity for the Toreadors. Two minutes left in the quarter. Jackson, tough to bring down. He's an impressive running back.
They are. As long as you keep reaching for him, he's going to break those tackles. He's got strong legs.
Devin Howard out of the secondary with the stop. We might mention tonight, ECR is playing without Luke Peffer, their outstanding strong safety. He's injured, not available. Torrey Jackson is quite a story here at Taft, just eligible for the first time this year. Late first quarter action. 1:15 remains. Bristow to the air. Deflected away. Again, he targeted an outstanding wide receiver in Daniel Ramirez.
And Ramirez was running the same pattern that he was open the last time, but this time the El Camino corner, Zakowski, was able to just man up on him.
It's 3rd down and 3. You're kind of surprised they threw there with the success they were having with Jackson.
Well, Jackson was out that play, so it could be an indication that they were going to throw it.
Well, they haven't targeted Amir Dutt yet, the other sophomore wide receiver that they think is an unbelievable talent. 3rd down and 3.
El Camino's bringing 6 on the defensive line.
They'll stay conservative. Cowles, and I don't know that he got there. It's going to bring up a 4th down. It's 4th down and 3.5. He actually lost a half a yard. Final 45 seconds of the quarter. With Paul Zabalik, I'm Randy Rosenbaum. This is El Camino Real football at LA36. And aren't the Royals impressive? But they're being tested here. Here's a big 4th down for Taft.
And Jackson's back in there in the backfield. If they need 4, they're probably going to go to him.
Keep your eyes on number 22 in red. Bristow under center. 4th down play. Bristow keeping it. He got the first down. Wellington Bristow.
There's the athlete that just showed up, number 12. That's the baseball, basketball, and football player.
It's also the 4.0 student smartly hiding the football. Everyone in the stadium here at Hal Lambert Stadium thought the ball was going to Torrey Jackson. He pulled it away from Jackson and ran the bootleg to his left for a first down. That's the end of the opening quarter, and after 1, it's El Camino Real 21 and Taft nothing. However, Taft is perched at the 9-yard line with a 1st and goal.
Well, again, you're going to see that offense do some unique things. Bristow is going to get that option to throw or to keep it, as you just saw. And even fool the cameraman.
Nah, he wouldn't fool our guys.
But you see that El Camino trying to tackle with hands and arms, and you're not going to stop good athletes with arm tackles.
That being said, and certainly Taft has got a real opportunity to break through here. Wonderful opening quarter for the Royals.
Well, again, they've got to be able to sustain this in 3 more quarters and keep the ball on the field with them and not turn it over to Taft.
And so far, Taft has done nothing to make us believe they can stop the Royal offense. They did have the one takeaway, but Elko was moving right down the field when the ball was stolen from Colin Ermita.
Well, I believe they've had the ball twice in 2 scores on the recovery.
Well, the defense of El Camino Real will be tested here.
Yeah, they've got 2 offensive touchdowns and then the 1 punt fumble in the end zone.
All by Cameron Dover. He scored all 3 touchdowns.
All 3 touchdowns.
Jackson is the deep back, number 22, and you know that by now. Bristow to the air. Off the fingertips of Ramirez.
That same skinny post pattern that Ramirez ran for that 1 catch, he's trying to do the same thing. He's going to the well 3 times, and if you look at Zakowski, he's going to step up, and he might be able to pick off one of these passes if they continue with that pattern.
Should have been caught.
Ramirez had position.
That would have been a touchdown had Ramirez held the football. Bristow throws a beautiful ball.
He does.
2nd down and goal from the 9. Going to try it again. Went back to the exact same play, and a flag is out. Ramirez made the grab.
We have holding defense. That penalty declined. Third down. Third down.
Third down upcoming. Not exactly sure why you would decline that penalty.
That was going to be my question.
Toreadors need 3 yards for a touchdown. And I'm not sure that they are going to decline that penalty. Jeff Karen is talking with the lead official, Vanell Henderson.
It's not in the best interest of Taft to decline that.
Of course not. It should be a first down for Taft rather than third down if they accept the penalty.
Well, it's half the distance if it's 3rd and goal.
Well, for the time being, it is 3rd down and goal. Jackson left side. Touchdown. Welcome to Woodland Hills, Torrey Jackson. First game eligible, and he's got the TD.
And a difference maker, and you're not going to tackle him with your hands or your arms. You've got to put your body on him, and that's the only way you're going to stop him and tackle him.
Takes the Toreadors off the hook because they should not have refused that penalty. Doesn't matter now, they scored the TD. Morelos on for the point after the senior kicker. And like the ECR placement specialist, he is very, very solid. Both teams with good kickers tonight. See if Morelos can pound it through. Good lift there, and he is accurate. 21-7. Let's go back to the Jackson TD.
See the arm tackle, you're not going to stop him with arm tackles. You got to put your body in front of him.
He's going to have a big night if they continue to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a defensive challenge for Elko, their coordinator, to get their players to make tackles rather than reaching and make arm tackles, because you won't tackle him that way.
Sam Tover. Tovin is back deep with Troy Spellman for ECR. Tovin's a junior. Cornerback and wide receiver. Very energetic young man. Granada Hills transfer. By the way, his brother was an outstanding baseball player. Chatsworth for Tom Musborn a few years back. Morelos to kick it away. Still 11:40 to play in the half, Paul. We're seeing some offensive fireworks in this one.
That's the expectation with both of these programs.
This is Sam Tovin. Sam Tovin has got room, but there's a flag out. And in all likelihood, this will be called back. You just expect big plays on both sides, don't you?
We're holding.
That's the football usually breaks on big plays, either mistakes or big plays. And we're seeing both here.
We're holding. Doing return. Number 3. 10-yard penalty.
So it was Spellman detected for the hold. Well, if you're Taft, you got to locate number 4, Cameron Dover, the wide receiver. The senior for El Camino has been splendid. And he's been able to get open in the Taft secondary.
I'm looking for him now. He's on the far side.
Feinberg with 2 touchdown passes in this first half, both to Dover. That's a wonderful grab. Going up and getting it is Colin Ermita. What a wonderful, wonderful catch.
And another excellent play by Feinberg to find Ermita. The middle of the field is, again, wide open.
Boy, did he high point that well, Ermita. Outside the 40 to the 42-yard line in Royal territory. This is some catch by number 14, Ermita.
Again, you look at the middle of the field, and he's just right there, even though number 30 for Taft, Dustin Lee, was right on him.
Feinberg hiding the ball. Tried a hurdle, and he's fortunate to get back up in one piece.
That's the dimension and the weapon that I've talked about earlier. Feinberg needs to keep the ball.
You want him to do that.
I want him to do it. I want to see him make those moves, and then you're going to see the defense collapse on him.
Minus the hurdle.
Yeah.
Picked up 9 yards.
But you got to give him credit for trying to do that.
Officials are huddling up on the near side. Let's take a look at that hurdle. Beautiful tackle.
Almost got over.
Amir Dutt. Dover again is loose. Cameron Dover all the way. His 4th touchdown of the half. 3 of them in the air from Feinberg. What a night for Cameron Dover.
It is the Cameron Dover hour.
That was 50 yards. The first 2 were 27.
He should be wide open all night long. Feinberg can find him all night. Big play. Big player.
Big answer after the Taft score. It's going to be fun to hear the 2 coaches at halftime chat it up. Zabalik and Kieran going one-on-one at halftime. That kick is away and good. 28-7 as Chavez Borelli booted it through. Let's go back to Feinberg and Dover again.
Just on a quick hitch. And again, Taft arm tackling. You're not going to arm tackle Dover. And it's obviously a wide open field for him.
El Camino. In under 14 minutes of play here in Woodland Hills, has 28 up on the scoreboard.
Making an offensive statement.
Cameron Dover making a statement in his own right for being San Fernando Valley Player of the Week, one would think. What a performance in the opening half, and Ryan Feinberg is also putting up huge numbers.
And it's not over. You're going to see more of number 4.
It's not over for Dover. You like that, huh?
I did. That was very good.
Thank you.
Keep me entertained, Randy.
I try. Still trying to figure out the kicking rotation for El Camino with Chavez, Borelli, and Asa Johnson. I think they're just taking turns.
Let's hope they get a lot of turns with extra points and they can rotate it over and over.
They've been doing that already tonight. Taft set to receive. Of course, the last time they had the football, Torrey Jackson scored on a 3-yard TD. This one is a short kick, and it's going to give Taft advantageous field position.
El Camino special teams trying a little trick play there with an onside kick, trying to catch him off guard. But Taft players were alert enough to do that.
Really like the play calling from Taft the last time they had the football. Balanced the passing game with the running game.
Well,
you're going to Elko off balance.
You're going to see more of Torrey Jackson there, certainly. No question about that.
But they had Bristow more involved as well. He ran the football on that fourth down conversion with the bootleg. Yep. First down for Taft. Here's Jackson again. And a quick burst for 4 or 5 yards. Spellman got him.
You've got that big offensive line for Taft. You've got Abreu, you've got Perez, you've got Palacios, averaging 270 pounds across the front. That should open up some giant holes for Jackson.
Second down and a long 5 at the Toreador 47-yard line. Royals 28, Toreadors 7. Still a long way to go in this second quarter. Just a few yards there for Terrence Watson. Terrence Watson, an interesting guy, number 20 there. He never carried the football till a few weeks ago, and they handed it to him for the first time, and he had a 70-yard touchdown run. So he's earned his stripes, and he's in the rotation, and Watson gets a carry here and picks up a couple.
And there was a chance for Christopher Flores to get Jackson in the backfield, but arm tackles just aren't going to stop him.
Bristow to the air. Ramirez has it. First down yardage and a lot more. And Taft is on the move again.
Ramirez is running that same pattern, that quick post inside, and Zakowski can't cover it.
Another receiver to look for is their brilliant tight end, Harrison Grable, 6'2", 215-pound junior. They have not looked to him yet. Beautiful catch and run by Ramirez. To the El Camino Real 37-yard line. But 89 sitting on the left side of the line. Terrific tight end. He has not been targeted yet. Bristow hiding the ball and running and get hit. Down he goes. Cameron Dover is all over the field tonight.
It is the Cameron Dover hour, and he's outside, and you're not going to fool him twice with that bootleg.
That's a loss of nearly 5 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 14, but it's a long 14. 7.5 minutes remaining. First half. ECR by 21 points, 28-7.
Now you've got Jefferson on the outside covering Ramirez, and he's pressing. He's not going to let him have that skinny post again.
Bristow. That's a great throw to the far side to Dutt.
That was the second receiver, Dutt, that you were asking about earlier. They've given him a cushion, and he almost got the first down.
Taft has excellent skilled players in Dutt, Ramirez, and Crable. But again, they haven't targeted number 89 yet. Just a little bit shy of the necessary yardage. It's 3rd down and 1. Ball's at the 28-yard line of the Royals.
I would look for our friend Mr. Jackson again here.
Ball's out. El Camino Real recovers. Bueno fell on the football.
And again, Jackson had the ball, and he just was starting to make his cut when he was tackled and the ball popped out.
Let's look at this collision and fumble.
Yeah, big play.
Watson lost the handle.
Looked like Derbeshian was a big part of that.
Well, Derbeshian
Number
is a
50.
big part of the defense. 50's a big-time player. Vladimir Derbeshian, 6'1", 260-pound junior, who Jason Zabog raves about. El Camino has it at their 28-yard line. Feinberg, deep one, has an open receiver. Feinberg has been on point. Beautiful throw and catch. Rafa Cortez, the freshman wide receiver who's really coming on.
You saw that same pattern that Dover ran earlier. Dover wasn't on the field then, but Feinberg was able to see that and was able to have a nice touch on the pass.
Feinberg looks great.
He does. He's having a great game.
He's thrown 3 touchdowns tonight, but this one he dropped in there beautifully to Rafa Cortez. Can't throw it any better than that.
Nice touch.
Ball to 38 of the Toreadors, and again, the Royals are dominating the line of scrimmage. And this is Spellman with a huge hole.
Just pounding.
First down, Royals.
He is the athlete on the field. He can do it. And you're not going to tackle him with arms either.
What an impressive performance for El Camino Real tonight at Woodland Hills. Looking to put another score up there. Other than one turnover, they have not been stopped offensively. One time when Armida had the ball taken away from him.
Yeah, that was a surprise because Armida is not one who turns over the ball.
Near side, Bueno is free. Juggled it as he went to the ground, but held on.
He is the tip drill expert, Mr. Bueno.
Playing both ways, defense and offense. He's a big kid. He's a young kid. Got varsity reps last year. And Robin Bueno's just a tough guy.
And he's a returner. He'll be a senior next year.
Picked up 5, 2nd and 5. Ball at the 20-yard line of the Toreadors. El Camino is threatening again. They're already in field goal range.
Ball almost popped out, but he was able to recover.
Flag comes out.
We have delay of game. Offense.
The one thing that'll kill a drive
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
is mistakes. And here's another example of a mistake. It is a momentum killer.
Vincent Serrano, number 16, is checked in as a wide receiver junior for El Camino Real. Second down and 10. Ball spotted at the Toreador 25.
El Camino now rotating receivers.
Over the middle, Spellman wide open. Touchdown. 4 touchdown throws in the first half for Ryan Feinberg.
He found Spellman wide open, and he just made it happen.
An explosion in Woodland Hills. Fireworks in the opening half for the Royals. They've been waiting for this all season long.
It is.
It's Asa Johnson's turn for the point after.
As we talked pregame, El Camino needs to dominate this game tonight.
Drills that one between the pipes. 35-7. Spellman latching on to another score for El Camino Royale.
Just a nice touch by Feinberg. Spellman's wide open. He read him all the way from the line of scrimmage.
Well, again at halftime, and that's only 4 minutes and 18 seconds away. The two coaches, Jeff Kieran of Taft and Jason Zabalik of El Camino Royale, will discuss life as a head coach. And, I think you'll enjoy that. Two good friends. Again, they coach together at Moore Park on the offensive side of the football, Moore Park College. And it's a pretty good rap session.
Both of them coached in the college level, and both of them have that experience, and they're bringing it to these new programs. Both of these are rebuilding programs, and these kids haven't played football for 2 years, and they're really getting a good experience track with both Coach Zabalik and Coach Kieran.
Coach Kieran talks about the joy of snapping the 26-game losing streak. He took over a beleaguered program, and they knocked off Van Nuys, and he'll talk about that at halftime. Chavez Borelli with the short kick. Covered nicely again by Taft High School. Going down to get it was Jacob Peary.
This onside kick is questioning, you've got a big kicker and you're just kicking it short and giving up that field position. I'm just curious why that is going on.
Well, this will be our final regular season game for El Camino Royale on LA36, but the playoffs are up ahead, and we'll see what develops there. There is that possibility that we might have a game or two during the tournament. That's still yet to be determined. Of course, we don't know where El Camino will land in the playoff landscape, but a victory here tonight will probably get them a fairly high seed, one would think, in Division II. Jackson is back in as the I-back. This is Torrey Jackson. And he's blasted with a flag out. And again, there's that man again, Devin Howard.
Made a big play, big hit on Jackson.
Thank you. Holding offense. Bring it back. Bring it back. That's fine. Come back two.
And that's how you have to tackle Jackson. You can't arm tackle him. You've got to put your body on him.
Taft's had some big names play here. Jeff Fisher, the former Rams coach and Titan coach, was a player here. Malcolm Smith, a Super Bowl MVP, played here. Steve Smith of the Giants, New York Giants wide receiver, another Super Bowl winner, played here. That's Malcolm's brother.
Yeah, you had Coach Troy Starr here for many years building this program.
Bristow to the air. Knocked away at the last moment.
He throws a real nice football. He just puts it right on the numbers.
Dudd was the target there. Amir Dutt. Zakowski on the outside. There's a rapidly developing player, number 11 for El Camino. Cayden Zakowski, a junior, had an interception against Pasadena. 5'7" and 160 pounds, but he's improving every week.
And again, a young player who hasn't had much experience, but he's getting a lot of it this year.
35-7 for ECR. Second down and 20. From the Taft 37. Torrey Jackson gets about 14 or 15 yards. Jefferson brought him to the ground.
All he needs is a little crease, and he's running behind 280-pound offensive lineman.
Well, Jeff Caron's found a nice running back.
Yes, he has. See the arm tackle again. They're not going to be able to bring him down. You got to put your body on him.
Third down, 6. After the 14-yard gallop by Jackson. Bristow has an open target. It's Cowles. Cowles has a first down and a lot more.
Just snuck out of the backfield, and it was wide open underneath. And Bristow was able to find him.
Taft's got a good-looking offense. Their problem is they have not been able to slow down El Camino. They've moved the football. First down at the Royals' 33-yard line. 3 minutes to play in the half.
Again, you'll watch Cowles just sneak out of the backfield, and he's wide open, and he's able to make the big play.
Taft desperately needs a score before intermission. Trying to reel in El Camino Real. Bristow hides the ball and comes to the near side, showing his running ability. Picked up 5.
Yeah, El Camino still hasn't adjusted to that bootleg. They're still not collapsing on the outside. Their contain is breaking down, and Bristow is able to get outside.
Wellington Bristow. Toreadors have taken a timeout after the 7-yard run by Bristow.
Bristow's keeping him honest with that bootleg, and he's going to have receivers that'll break open. When you look at Ramirez, you try to find him with that bootleg in a drag pattern across the field. You'll see him wide open.
Well, you can't relax because Taft can put points on the board. So if you're El Camino in a game like this, you just want to keep scoring.
You just have to.
Nice crowd on hand, and again, we've seen robust attendance throughout prep sports all season long, young and old.
Everybody's excited to be out.
Of course, El Camino has not won a road game this year. Their one win was at home against Cleveland. Even though it's not too far from campus, this is a road game for the Royals. Cameron Dover with 4 first-half touchdowns. Feinberg has thrown 4 scores. Bristow looking to counter. Deep ball. Nearly intercepted. Yeah, Zakowski with a terrific breakup. Not a bad idea to take a shot there on 2nd and short. Now it's 3rd down and 3. It's still very manageable down.
They have the versatility to make this happen. They've got the quarterback who can throw, a quarterback who can bootleg, and then, of course, Jackson with that off tackle, and he can have those quick bursts. 3 yards isn't a difficult thing behind that big offensive line.
Jackson breaks a tackle, and he's on his way. Touchdown, Toreadors. 25-yard touchdown run for Torrey Jackson. He's exciting.
Again, watch the missed tackles, the arm tackles by the El Camino defense. You're not going to stop Jackson with arm tackles.
Taft's won 3 football games, Paul, prior to tonight without Torrey Jackson.
And you can just imagine what would have happened if they had him all year.
He's terrific. Morellis for the point after. Perfect. Let's go back to the 25-yard gallop from Torrey Jackson.
2 missed tackles, 3, 4, 5. And again, they're trying to reach for him, and they're not going to be able to bring him down. He's just too strong.
He's built low to the ground, too.
Yeah, 5 missed tackles from arm tackles. They're just not going to, you're not going to stop a guy with that talent.
Now, the one negative, Taft scored maybe too quickly. They've left Ryan Feinberg in the ECR offense a minute and 55 seconds to work with.
That's plenty of time. All they need is about 6 seconds for that big play.
So just under 2 minutes to play in the half. El Camino getting the ball back, up 21 points. But you can't take anything for granted, not the way Taft can score.
Absolutely.
Taft scored 49 against Rivera, 35 against Contreras. So they can put points up. Spellman, he's going to come back with it. Good effort.
It was one of those athletic over-the-shoulder catches.
What do you look for here on this late drive in the second quarter from El Camino Royale?
Well, my guess is they're going to mix it up a little bit. They're going to try the run and try again to freeze those linebackers and pull them up, and then whoever the wide receivers are, if Dover's back in there, I haven't seen him in that role the last couple series, and I don't see him out there now. They're rotating their receivers, giving a lot more experience to those younger players, and I think that you'll see Feinberg hand it off and maybe just keep the ball and sustain the drive. They need 2 first downs to keep the clock.
I think they want to score before they get in the locker room. Ermita in the flat. Gets a few, and the clock will keep running with 1:35 to play.
Again, they're throwing that underneath pattern to pull up those linebackers. If they're going to throw into the middle of the field, because, again, that's where that open area is.
El Camino has 3 timeouts if they elect to utilize them. I would imagine if they get a first down to the middle of the field, they might take one here. Feinberg in trouble. It may not matter now. They're going to sack him. El Camino does take the timeout. 62 seconds left in the half. You look puzzled.
Well, I mean, again, with a loss, you're taking a timeout, and you don't want to turn the ball over here to Taft with any time remaining in the half, as explosive as they can be.
When you have a player like Wellington Bristow, you're really never out of the game. He's a terrific quarterback who can run and throw.
And again, with Bristow's talent, you've got an added dimension there because he has shown he can run on the bootleg.
Well, it's 3rd down and 10. El Camino try to dial up a big play here. Of course, if they get the first down, then they might start utilizing their timeouts. But you're right. The last thing they'll want to do is give Taft another opportunity and get right back in the ballgame. Dover has returned to the offensive side. He's out there flanked wide to the right.
So you may see them go deep to him right now on a fade.
El Camino looks confused offensively. They're short a man, and Daniel Azukar comes out there. Near side, it's Dover. Has the middle of the field, but he does not have enough yardage for the first down. Crable made the tackle. Kind of surprised Taft didn't take the timeout.
They may be stopping it now.
Yep, timeout Taft. They lost a few seconds. They could have called it a little bit earlier. Well, the ball's at the 35. It's 4th and 3. One would think you'd punt here. But in the modern day of football, a lot of teams are going for it in this situation. The prudent thing to do is to punt it right here.
As long as you get the snap.
Then Feinberg can punt. So if he lines up in the gun, he can also punt.
We've seen that quick kick many times.
Officially 42 seconds left. Of course, if you're Taft, you don't want to jump offside and give El Camino the first down. 4th down. Feinberg probably to punt. He's running option. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. He's turned the ball over on downs.
I just don't understand that.
Were they confused on what down it was?
What?
They just let Taft right back into the ball game.
I don't understand that. I don't understand. Feinberg was really confused.
I believe they were confused on what down it was. It's the only reason you run an option in that situation. Taft with a chance, down 35-14 to jump right back into the game.
Just unbelievable here. I'm not clear on what happened there.
See if they run it or throw it. They have the option. Pass over the middle, incomplete. Still have 34 seconds left. There's some pressure on the ECR defense.
Taft has some timeouts, it looks like. No, one timeout.
One left. There's Cowles, who's had a nice first half, number 41. Hard runner, fullback. Again, Jeff Kieran and Jason Zabot, the two coaches, with a delightful conversation at halftime. See if they try the draw. They still have a timeout, trying to confuse El Camino. Nope, Bristow wants to throw it. He's pressured, rolling to his right. He's in trouble. Now he unloads, incomplete. He's lucky to get that one back. There's a lot of traffic in that area and a number of El Camino Real defenders.
He's also a strong young man because he's just not getting pulled down from behind.
Talking with his head coach, Jeff Kieran, and he comes back onto the playing surface. 24 seconds left. Now down to 23 seconds left. Third down. Taft has a couple more shots to try to score before halftime. Over the middle, incomplete. And it's 4th down.
He's trying to find the open receiver in the center of the field, but they're collapsing down on him, and they're giving him pressure, so he's going to have limited time to throw the ball.
Well, he had Anthony Maloney in the area and just missed him. 85. 4th down and 10. ECR looking to hold here. This is a big play for Taft. They really need to score. 19 seconds and one timeout in their pocket.
try to put it in the end zone is my guess.
Bristow. Intercepted. So El Camino gets the stop. Terrific defense from ECR. Looked like Sam Tovin is the man that picked it off.
36, number 2.
That's Tovin. He's happy. He should be.
Again, we knew that Bristow was going to put it up into the end zone, and they were just sitting back waiting for it.
Kind of expected a handoff to Jackson at one point there. They had a timeout, and they did not elect to use 22.
That's why you and I aren't coaching, Randy.
We should be coaching, I think. Tovin with a great play, anticipate. Spinning on that sideline.
Now I hope that Elko will just take a knee and put the ball down.
You would think that's what they would do. Still befuddled by that last play, and they do take the knee, as so indicated. And that'll take us to halftime with El Camino up by 21, 35-14. 4 touchdowns in the air for Feinberg, 4 touchdowns for Cameron Dover. I think you're going to enjoy this. Let's sit back, relax, and listen to Jason Zabalik, the head coach of El Camino, talk to Jeff Kieran, the head coach at Taft. I know you're going to love it. Here it is.
Welcome back, everybody, to El Camino Real High School Royals football. I'm Jason Zabalik, the head football coach, and with me this evening is Jeff Kieran, a good friend of mine who I've had the gracious abilities to coach with. And we're going to get a little bit into that, and we're going to talk about a few things: high school football, college football, and a little El Camino Taft revelry. So, Coach, thank you for joining us this evening. Beautiful evening here at Taft High School.
Yeah, it is. It's finally cooled down. Finally cooled down.
I'll tell you what, it's a hell of a summer out here in Woodland Hills. It's a little bit different climate-wise from what we got to deal with just not over 2 years ago at this time.
I know. It's I can't believe how hot it stayed and how long it stayed hot. And it's affected us. I don't know about you guys, but we really had to work hard to get in shape and all that stuff. And with this heat, it's been hard. It really has.
Oh, yeah. We sit on literally probably the hottest piece of land in America. And it feels even worse. Believe you me, we have our the field turf melt. So it melts to our cleats and our tennis shoes all throughout the summer. And so it's a pretty hellacious summer once again. But we got the chance to coach at Moore Park, and it was no hotter than 75 degrees and breezy like this every single day.
Absolutely right, yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, the setting was beautiful. Talk to us a little bit about your background coming into this new position at Taft and where you've been over the last couple of years.
Well, I've been way too many places for high school football, but I was I went to Loyola High School, so I was an assistant there all through college, and I went to law school and did all that, and just coached the whole time. So I kind of went into coaching at that point, and but got the hankering to do it. And I coached Larry Smith, who was the head coach at SC. His son was at Loyola, so I got a job as a volunteer and a GA there, and so I had the really, really good fortune to be able to coach at SC for 4 years, if you can call being a GA coaching at times. So I met a lot of people, and then I got a job at Cal State Northridge, which was great, which ultimately I became the head coach, which was great, and an unbelievable experience. And I don't know if anybody would have predicted I would have been the head coach at Northridge. And unfortunately, they kind of lost their nerve, and we dropped football there. So I got back in the high school game really at the right time in the early 2000s, and I've never looked back. I really have enjoyed it. It's good to be back. I got to be the head coach at my alma mater, Loyola, and then St. Monica and other places, but this Taft thing came alive, and I'm really, really excited to be here.
Well, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for you bringing in a brand new facility, as I know you guys are. I'm not too happy about it myself, but, we'll use you guys as the flagship to try to push for our own. But,
You guys have everything. Look at this.
I don't know about that.
Oh, my gosh, you charter guys.
Yeah, right?
Made.
Oh, I know. It's fun in the sun, let me tell you, every single day. Well, and it's funny you mentioned Cal State Northridge. I have my T-shirt because I got my master's degree at Cal State Northridge, and so when I was there, it was right after they had dropped the program, and on the back it says undefeated since 2001, and so be it. But growing up in that area, always used to go to Cal State Northridge baseball games and football games, and Devonshire Downs was just a fun area to be around. And I mean, it's such a shame for not only local high school football players to aspire to a close enough college football experience, but also coaches, because there was a lot of kids and coaches, people's dreams were dashed when they shut the doors of that program.
It's really funny because I think everybody who teaches PE got their degree at Northridge in the Valley, certainly in LA Unified too. But and any athletic trainer on any sidelines went to Northridge. It's really a great place, and it's to say shameful is probably a little bit strong, but it's just heartbreaking that they dropped that program. They didn't need to. I think at the time it was a fight, and we had a way to make money playing football, and they decided to get rid of football and keep a bunch of other sports, which is, either way, it's a hard decision. I understand that, but we really could have done some cool stuff in the Valley and in LA football, because it's Division I without being, $50 million and a 50,000 seat stadium and all that stuff. So it gave a lot of local kids a Division I experience. We traveled, we got to play Air Force or SMU or Hawaii and do all these kind of fun things. And then we would have a good league with the Big Sky or with, even playing independent, traveling around the country. So it was really a cool opportunity. Our quarterback we led the nation in offense almost every year I coached there, because we had a really special quarterback.
That was Aaron Flowers, right?
No, it's after. It's Marcus Brady.
Oh, okay.
From San Diego, who's now the offensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, fantastic.
And
what a small world.
Yeah, no, he went and played Canada and just has made a coaching career and really, really excelled, and it's pretty cool. But when they dropped that, it just, and California in general has kind of declared war on football, but I really, really, I've for 20 years now just been heartbroken about this, because I lost my job, which was, I had a Division I coaching job in my hometown essentially, and
can't get any better than that. You don't have to go anywhere.
We all say we want to coach at Michigan and all that, but really, once you kind of get a game gets going, you may as well be at Michigan. It was really fun. So,
well, that's what I've always said, that if I won the lottery, Coach, the first stop is to walk into the chancellor's office with a blank check and say, "You're going to bring back this program, and I got a perfect staff in mind for you." So.
They would probably say no. That's the scary part.
Right? That's it's so unfortunate. But anyways, fast forward to the time we got to spend at Moore Park College. I really cherish getting to talk to you about some of the lore and Valley football. And I think the Valley has gone back to that. I saw an absence and a void of not just talent, but enthusiasm for the local programs. And then unfortunately, as soon as I decided to come back into it, I feel the wrath of all of these high schools that were actually building behind the scenes. Yeah. And during a COVID year, it being extremely difficult to maneuver. And my question is to you, accountability has been an issue during COVID. How do you deal with the accountability issue, the kids showing up and having to go to doctor's appointments because they couldn't get a doctor's appointment in the last year and a half? How has that ride been for you?
It's, it's hard. It's really, I feel so badly for these kids. We both had to teach remotely, which was a nightmare. So you can imagine their experience trying to learn, those who wanted to learn, having to learn in that environment. And I have young kids, and so I saw them go through it. Just that whole experience was so hard on kids, and now we're all trying to come back to it. And like you said, I think all these kids lost a year of maturity and academic maturity. I'm seeing it in the classroom. I'm seeing it I teach at Crespi, so it's a little bit different environment, but I think we're probably having the same experience that the kids are really behaving like a year younger. And so your
100%.
Seniors are behaving like juniors, and I'm sad for that, right? And then the football piece, man, oh man, they just they don't come. They just say, well, I got to go to the dentist, or my mom doesn't want to pick me up, and and all that, because they've all been working from home. And
or they have a sniffle or a sneeze, and they can't show up.
And then the school all of a sudden bumps 50 people. You get a call, oh, we just sent 50 kids home.
Right.
Like, holy, were any of them, and
we lost our game with Granada because of it,
Right.
So
it's frustrating for the kids, frustrating for us as we're trying to build something and teach all those things we like to teach in terms of discipline and all that. But, you just do it, and I think it's going to be a long road back. I didn't have an off season here, so I look forward to an off season just to clean the room out, at this point. But
some of the little things that you just
my
can't get around to on a daily basis. Teaching, I teach 6 periods. I have an auxiliary, so I know you teach 5th, and then you probably get off early, drive over to Taft, right on down the road, down Ventura Boulevard.
Not early.
And flying by the seat of your pants, changing in the car, living the junior college coaching world like we used to, and we're trying to go back to normal, and it's not normal. It's abnormal. It's super normal. But, talk to us about what your philosophy is going into the latter part of the season with your guys and moving forward.
Well, so, again, this I should admit it, but they hadn't won a game here in years. So when we actually won our first game against Van Nuys, I've never been around true happiness in sports like that. These kids, and I had no idea I had to ask. And so it was really cool because it was a real genuine ecstasy about having won this game. Our seniors had never won a game at any level.
Right.
So it was really, really kind of a nice change when all you read about are St. John Bosco and modern day. I just as we got into the last part of the season, we've slid.
After the first half, it's all El Camino Real 35-14. They dodged a bullet. Taft had a chance to score near the end of the half, and Sam Tovin came up with a huge interception for ECR. But a big offensive explosion for the Royals. With Paul Zabalik, I'm Randy Rosenbaum. We're at the break, and quite an offensive display by the Royals from El Camino Real.
Yeah, again, it was the Dover show. Four touchdowns in the first half.
Well, he's wearing the number on his back, number 4.
And
what a half.
This obviously was a big play for him as well, falling on the ball.
Bad snap on the punt, and ECR there had a 14-0 lead.
Very good run back by Taft.
Cloud of dust. By the way, they're going to get a new turf here in the next year. Here's a great play by Feinberg finding Dover.
Again, they just tried to collapse on him when he started to run. Like he was almost over the line of scrimmage, but he knew where the stakes were and was able to make a completion. And here again is a running back without peer.
Torrey Jackson. And speaking of without peer, Dover showing he's got some speed and strength along that sideline to score.
Again, once he gets in the open, you're not going to catch him from behind.
Yeah, 2 27-yard touchdown catches. That was good for 50. There's another one to Spellman. So Dover caught 3 and recovered 1 for his 4, and the other touchdown was by Spellman. And Jackson was dynamic scoring on this play for the Toreadors.
You're just not going to tackle him with hands and arms. You got to put bodies on him to stop him. He's got very strong lower body strength.
Here's that Tovin interception right before the break. Sam's the man. Now, there was a play late on 4th down and 3 where ECR elected, right before the Tovin interception, by the way, where ECR elected to go for it.
Yeah.
And they ran an option, and you got the inside on why they ran that 4th and 3 from deep in their own territory.
Well, the coach indicated that there was an opportunity for them to collapse that outside and run a speed option, and just didn't get communicated well to Feinberg, and he wasn't sure what he was going to do.
There's the coach, Jason Zabalik, and he had a great play-calling first half, didn't he?
He did. He really was able to read that Taft defense. He knew what players had the right skills, and, of course, Feinberg is the playmaker. He's the one that made all of that happen.
You see the mood change from a week ago? I mean, look how happy Jason is last week. You know, he said it. We didn't like the expression, but he said, I'm on suicide watch. For 24 hours, I just couldn't get over the fact that they turned the ball over in the waning seconds. It looked like they were going to go in and beat Chatsworth and lost 33-30. And he was in a downcast mood, but it certainly turned around. Jeff Kieran is getting it done on the other side, however, for Taft. Again, his competition level in the preseason not as strong as El Camino, but he was able to build up some wins over the likes of Rivera, Contreras, and that big one to start that winning streak against Van Nuys. Jeff will get it done here, won't he?
He will. I mean, he's a well-traveled coach. He's experienced. He's been to each level of coaching, and he's going to develop these kids, and it's going to be a great rivalry between Coach Kieran and Coach Zabalik over the years, and you've got literally a crosstown rivalry here in Woodland Hills.
Well, what do you want to see first for Taft? Then I'll go to El Camino next. But first from Taft, what do you want to see from the Toreadors?
Well, you're going to see a lot more of Mr. Jackson. I believe they're going to give him the ball as often as he can. You're going to see Bristow put the ball in the air. He's going to try to find Ramirez, number 11. I would imagine he would try to do his bootleg run again to pull that secondary up tight and then possibly throw it into the secondary deeper. So I think, they're not out of this game by any stretch. Turnovers could be a big factor. Mistakes can be a big factor. And I think you're going to see Mr. Jackson, as we saw last week with Chatsworth, with number 1, Mr. Van, I believe. And he put on his own demonstration of skill.
On the flip side, ECR, what do you map out for the Royals in the back half?
I think ECR needs to keep the pressure on Taft. They need to continue to score. They got to sustain their drives. They got to not make mistakes and kill drives. Mr. Dover should be back in here. I think if in the beginning of the second half, you're going to maybe see 2 touchdowns to Dover because they're going to throw it. They're going to put it up again. You're not going to stop him from scoring. He's that kind of an athlete.
These 2 teams won their individual city titles in the late 90s. Both winning at the Coliseum in different years, 97 and 98 respectively. Both Taft and El Camino Royale won city championships. ECR's was in 97. Rick Hayashida was the head coach. Taft came back the very next year in 98 under Troy Starr to beat Banning in the championship game.
Yeah, and Coach Zabalik played on that 97 championship team.
He did, and he's very proud of that, isn't he?
He is. He's got the rings to prove it, and he reminds me of that all the time.
Pretty good baseball player in his day, wasn't he?
2 city baseball championships and football championships, and he's got a couple of coaching. He helped Coach LaCour and the baseball program when LaCour was at El Camino, and he also has helped their program, and he's got, I think, 2 coaching rings for the baseball program.
Well, Taft's going to get the football first. Asa Johnson has it teed up. And they are indeed alternating. At halftime, I went right up to Asa. I said, how are you guys determining who's kicking? He goes, we're just alternating, just as we expected, you know. It's the most logical thing when you have 2 great kickers. And it's good for El Camino football because Chavez Borelli's a